Hey, Rambo.
Hey, hey,
How's it going?
it's going good as always. It's got a little problem.
What's going on?
Broken finger. I just think it's just an accident, but
Oh my. Okay,
I
okay. Fill
can't
me
bend
in.
it. It's just
How did you find yourself in this
in
accident?
me training, in me
Oh, your
box.
jujitsu?
Yeah, and it just like landed on my finger, but yeah, I've not been able to bend it or anything.
It's swollen.
It's yeah, but there's not much to do if I went anywhere with it. Do you know?
Because they would just put one of those
They just strap it to that
little
one, wouldn't they?
yeah, yeah. There's not much you can do.
So I'm
I
just,
mean, they might like try to pop it and relocate, try to,
just leave it.
ooh, just leave
Just
it.
gonna leave it.
Yeah, Rambo's
But
never going
other
to be
than
able to
that,
bend his finger ever again.
I'm actually great. Other than that.
Oh, a little bit of a broken finger. I've got a broken tire on my side of the street over here. I got a flat tire. I popped a curb, or no, it wasn't even a curb. It was a pothole. Like I kind of, you feel that like gujung, when you go over it, and you're like,
When you
ooh,
know it's a bad one.
yeah. When you hear like metal on road, it was a deep. It's like it's your entire wheel went into the pothole. Yeah, so that happened yesterday, and wouldn't you know it, tire is completely flat. The tire just busted up, so I've got to deal with that today. But you know what? Just it's one of those
So, did he
light,
give
those
you
little.
a loan car for a flat tire?
Okay, I've got a little.
I've
I
never
got
heard that one
a.
before.
Rambo overheard my conversation. We had to pause and restart the episode because I had a call from the tow truck people. Yes, okay, so I bought my car through a dealership, and it's like a very ritzy dealership here in Dallas. They're just known for their extraordinary customer service. Like they go above and beyond. And usually the cars are like a little bit more expensive there because they have so much service that comes with it, like a lifetime amount of service. But I got a crazy good deal. So I got a great deal and I get all the service. So basically, I can't drive the car because the tires and my car doesn't come with like a spare. They don't give you a spare because it comes with these things called
The
run flat
foam.
tires.
They give it, yeah, that's what mine has. Run flat
Run
tires. Yeah.
flat. Well, they say you can run flat, but I guess this little hiccup on the road was a little too intense to where like it's like
They don't give you that
it's been the
foam
tire's been
you
decimated.
put in.
The plug up where you can plug it with the
Yeah.
foam. Yeah, I should have tried that, but I'm not very handy when it comes to automobiles. So I called my dealership and I said, "What do I do?" And they said, "Oh, no worries. We'll just call our tow people and we'll come tow it and we'll give you a loan car." And it's all part of like all of it. Like they're gonna sit like they're sending out I don't have to pay anything extra. So, you know, I all things to say, sometimes go to a reputable place to get your services done. I've had.
Because I would have thought they would have come out, changed the tire in the place, and just
Well,
went.
probably knowing me, because I did drive on the vehicle while it was going
Oh,
flat,
did
I'm
you
sure that
drive
I
back with
have.
it? Right.
I sure
Well, this is
did.
run flat.
That's what I said to myself. I was like, it's a run flat tire. I can go as long as I want. So I did drive across town with a completely flat tire, and I'm sure that I have done incredible amounts of damage to my vehicle because I'll be the first to say I'm a bad driver. I'm a bad driver. I'm not a great vehicle owner. I I should not be allowed on these streets. I shouldn't. I should not. I am reckless. I am dangerous. I can barely drive. I can barely
Could imagine you just
drive.
driving along, wheels all up, like,
Do, do,
well, it
do,
is a
do,
run
do.
flat.
Psh. It's like it literally was making that sound. I was like, what's that noise? Psh. It's all the air like being forced out of the tire. Oh, it can't be my car. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, what's that? Kadunk, 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 kadunk. What's those sounds? Yeah, I better get home quick. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. You know what? I'm a really excellent parallel parker. That's the only thing I can be trusted to do on the roads is parallel park. I can parallel park anything. I got it down. Easy peasy. But actual driving, no thank you. No. Please, no please, and no thank you. Mm-mm. You know, is it too much to like to try to manifest some sort of chauffeured lifestyle? Like I shouldn't be driving. It's not good. It's not good for me. It's not good for the other people on the road. Certainly not good for the vehicle or a tire or the tire. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I guess, yeah, I guess I could just Uber everywhere, just try to sell my car, put all of that money into like an Uber fund and just Uber everywhere and walk, which I'm already very. Anyway, all that to say, it's been a little bit of yeah, that happened last night. After I went for a run, I went across town. I drove
It's the big run tomorrow, isn't it?
tomorrow, yes. And I'm trying to get
How's
all
that
this
been
car
going? How's
stuff
you?
done out of the way so I can actually like drive to the thing. It's going okay. I still can't run very far without walking, but that's okay. I mean, again, I have to be very gentle on myself, and I'm not trying to win any races here. I'm just trying to
Doing it for you, aren't you,
step
really?
up to this challenge, and yeah,
That's it. As long
it's a
as you
good thing I don't have to
finish it,
drive
it
the
doesn't
race,
matter,
but I
does
can.
it?
What'd you say, Rambo?
As long as you finish,
And I
that's
know I
all.
can. I know I can because I can easily walk 3 miles. I can walk 3 miles in my sleep. And so no matter what, I will be finishing. I will be finishing the race unless there's a catastrophic accident. And well, knock on wood, I will be crossing the finish line. But yeah, it's just a matter of like how much I'll be able to, well, here's what I found. I have found like the beginning does seem to be the hardest. Like when I first start to jog, I can only go for about 20 or 30 seconds. And I'm like, I got to stop. And then I'll walk. And then the next time I pick up and go and start jogging again, I can do it a little bit longer, and then I'll stop and walk a little bit and catch my breath, and then I'll go for a little bit longer, and then by the fourth or fifth interval, I'm jogging, baby. I'm jogging.
I think it's a mind thing as well because I get
Yeah.
when you said that, then when I've done runs in the past, it's always the first 5 minutes where it just feels really hard, and then it
Oh,
seems to get
yeah.
easier as you go on, and then at the end I kind of dip off again, like. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's excruciating at the beginning. You're like, why does anybody do this? Why does anybody do this to their bodies? How can anybody find this fun? And it's funny because like I ride my bike. I love to ride my bike, and I'm like categorically not a runner. I have said that for many years. Like I do not run. I will not run. You won't find me running. I'll happily walk a million miles here, there, and everywhere, but I just do not run. And here I am running. But what's funny is like when I would ride my bike around, I'd ride around the lake, and all the bike riders, they have this like kind of serene, happy look on their face. They're all just like, wee, kind of, you can just like feel it. But then all the runners have this pained grimace, like the look on their face is like, ugh, they're even the experienced runners, they look like they're in great pain as they go forth with this exercise. And I've always thought like, I would just much rather be doing what I'm doing than riding,
yeah, riding your bike nice
whee!
and relaxed.
The wind in your face, relax, you can take a break. And then those runners, it's just
What do you think about it on your body,
excruciating.
the running? Like, I know that.
The impact.
Yeah, I
The
know I felt that myself, and I felt like on the stem shins. I get it where my
Yeah,
shins hurt,
my
and then
knees.
my
It's my
hips
knees.
hurt, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
say you've done it for years and years, is there like some sort of proof, or is it just what people think that in say 20 years of running every day, are you gonna end up having loads of operations and all sorts, do you think? Or is that just what? Because
That's a
is
good
your
question.
muscle, is your bone and your muscle training to harden up against that impact after
Right.
so long? Because I hear a load of times like people go, oh, in 20 years it'll knack your body up or whatever, but does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I do have like a little bit of anecdotal evidence or not even evidence, but I've got some inside info on this one. I used to do these videos for a joint replacement surgeon. That was their specialty, hips and knees and ankle, like any joint you got, it can be replaced. Elbow, shoulder replacement, all sorts of wherever your joints come together, that's where the concentration of this impact is. And we have these cartilage, so they say, I'm very suspicious on how our body actually works, but here's what they say. We have this kind of fascia, it's some sort of supportive mechanism called our collagen, or our, what's that? I just had the
So it's
word.
a bit like between,
Between the joints. Yeah,
yeah.
it's that kind of like goo. There's like a soft absorption material between our joints, and that kind of helps with the impact, because when you run, you're just constantly doing this very intense impact that reverberates all through your body. Every time your little foot hits the pavement, it's a new impact strike every single time. And when you go for a run, that's thousands and thousands of impact strikes. Every single time you come back down onto the pavement, it's another strike. And that strike is going up through your body. It's kind of going through all of your joints. And, for runners, it also happens with like skiers and tennis players. And a lot of sports are not very friendly on the joints. But, if for people that do these long distance runnings, the surgeon was telling me that there was a woman in her late 30s who had to get hip and knee replacements because she had been an ultra distance runner since her youth, like cross country, and then just continued on. And she was just living in debilitating pain. It was bone on bone. That's what they call it when you're all out of cartilage. That's the word I was looking for, not collagen, cartilage.
Yeah.
Cartilage. Yeah. I'm on a collagen kick because I'm just, that's for like the cartilage is for the youthful. And if you can take it in. So I'm all about like taking my words are not, whatever. Collagen, cartilage. Actually, they're kind of part of the same substance group. If one helps the other, like the more collagen flowing through your body, the more kind of restorative and reparative on all of these important elements within your body, all these, the important goo between your joints, you get more of that. Anywho, not a doctor. I'll say that with me, not a doctor. But apparently these impact running seems to be one of the highest offenders, shall we say, for like an everyday exercise that you can do, that many people do, that is actually quite destructive on your body. Like, just don't. The opposite of what Nike says, just don't do it.
The tortoise in the hare, isn't it? Really, that's.
Yeah, tortoise in the hare, the slowest, the seemingly slow effort, actually in the long run, it will get you to the finish line. Slow and steady wins the race.
It's like on your body, like I think we've said this before in the past. Like it's like if you had two brand new exact same cars and you drove yours at like 80 miles an hour everywhere.
But if I drove mine if I drive a car and anybody else drove the car, my car would be destroyed within a matter of months or weeks, and the other car would be just fine. Yeah, it's operation error. Our bodies are vehicles. This is a fun exploration. Like, I love how this is like unintentionally dovetailing into one of my favorite fascinations and favorite topics that we have explored on the Realize Radio Discord, as the human body as a vehicle. It's a vehicle, and it needs to be cared for. It needs to be tuned, it needs to be tuned properly. And some of the type of operations,
not like overworked.
We can overstress and overwork our body systems, our vehicles, and drive them in a way that is not, let's say, suggested from the manufacturer, to be operating our vehicle in a way that is not conducive for a long and healthy life cycle. For running, I think that you mentioned your shin splints. It does, like, severe pain can flow from this activity, especially if you've got, improper form, which I don't even know how to run. So I definitely have improper form. I'm basically just like skipping. Is that how you do it? I'm not sure. But is that how you run? But I remember in high school, I was corralled into running cross country and to actually just training with the cross country team. It was kind of a form of punishment. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I had to do that. And my knees started to really hurt me. And I remember I was like popping 6 to 8 Tylenol or Advil or Aleve or whatever was available in my parents' little pill medicine basket on top of the refrigerator. I would just pull that baby down, see what kind of confections could alleviate pain, and I would just gobble those before I would go to school. And that is really bad. Yeah, I would just run. Yeah, that's the only way I could run, because I was trying to tell the coach my knees hurt, but it was very much like the suck it up sort of coaching style. suck it up and get back out there. That's like the best advice. That's the tried and true advice, is just run through the pain. And I was like, okay, that's like, I guess everybody else is doing it, so I'm going to do it. And I didn't even really communicate with my parents. I mean, they were, I don't even, anyway, they had very little awareness of anything that I was up to. And so I was just like, well, I'm going to fix this myself and just gobble all these. It didn't matter what was in, Tylenol, Ali. Thankfully, it wasn't like actual pain medication, because I could have started like a severe addiction. But I was just trying to get through it, and I began to develop like ulcers, from gobbling all
running.
that. No, from
And
the
oh,
pain
from that,
medication.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're really not supposed to take more than one or two, and I was taking like handful, and until I was just down the hatch, boop, and goblin just, just off I go. And I could feel like the numbing begin to like come through my whole body, but then like I was having, and that's the only way I could run, but there were some other, let's say, less ideal side effects that I began to notice. And after that, it was a relatively brief chapter, but after that, I kind of made an internal vow of I'm never running again.
Not
I'm
running no more.
never, no more,
But
no more.
I
And then
feel like, I
decades
don't
later, here I
know
am.
whether it's David Goggins when he came on the scene or what, but I don't, or I'm just noticing it more. But everybody's taking up running now. I feel like there's so many joggers now that everywhere. I can go outside now and I'll see someone jogging past.
Yeah.
It's like a guarantee. But I
I
don't know
mean,
whether I've just took note of why is everyone jogging. I
jogging.
go through little stages where I try it and then like you, I think, why am I even doing this? I don't enjoy it. There's loads of other things that I can do to make myself feel kind of healthy or whatever that doesn't involve my knees and hips hurting for days. It's not like a muscle ache, it's a joint and
Deep,
bone ache.
yeah, bone pain. It's different. It's different. It hits different than just like a sore. If you go to the gym and bench press one too many and you got those sore arms, it's a little bit different. I've been so busy training. I put that in quotes because it's literally me just prancing around, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just walk now and then prance again in a minute. So there's training is, and I keep saying I'm training for a marathon. All of these words are not accurate. I'm not training. It's not a marathon. I'm just fucking around.
Just getting yourself ready for it though.
Right. I am preparing, and I have taken this preparation very seriously, because I was even traveling this weekend, and I've got this new thing to do. I got this new thing called running. I went to Madison, Wisconsin, to visit an old friend, a college friend. She lives there now, and she eloped with her husband. They eloped in London, and then we had a post-wedding celebration with family and friends. They had a very small elopement over there with just close family, just the parents really, and then they had a kind of a post-wedding party in Madison, and so I went for that. And there were lots of activities throughout the day, but there were like a few pockets of time where I just had some time to myself, and I was like, what am I going to fill this with? And you could fill it with literally anything that you could come up with in your mind, but I just had this little new idea creep in. It's like, oh, I can go for a run. I can go for a little jog around Madison and go see the sights. And it was actually a lovely way to take in the city. I'd never been to Madison, and it's like a very charming town, but it's also got like some kind of big city kind of it's the capital. Madison is the capital of Wisconsin, so it's got the Capitol building in the middle of it, and you can kind of run around the Capitol, and that's beautiful. And I went and explored inside there, and then and there's water. It's kind of on this like peninsula, or it's like an isthmus or something. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is for the landmass that Madison finds itself on, but it is surrounded by water, and running down to see the water and then running up to the Capitol, and bing bang boom, before I know it, I had ran 3 miles. I mean, I'd been walking too, but 3, and then it became 4 miles, and at the end, and then there was one day where I looked at my little pedometer, and I had gone like 15 miles total between walking and throughout the day with all of our little activities and then my additional run. And I was like, damn, I'm halfway to a marathon, And I was like, if this little thing is only 3 point whatever miles, I got this
Yeah.
easy. I got
Yeah.
this easy. It's just all like a mental thing. As is most things in life, our outlook is, more important than the actual thing, like how we approach it. It's not just what you do, but how you do it. And I have had a lot of like weird mental hangups about this thing, about running, about how painful it is and blah, blah, blah. I'm just always thinking about gobbling Tylenols to just get through it. But if I'm if I'm completely honest with this whole experience, it has been positive. All of my little training sessions, all the little things, it's going to be good. There's going to be no injury from it. I think
Then
my
on to the
car
next
was the
challenge
only
after that.
injury. Yeah, my car is the only training injury. I'm counting it as a training injury because I went into the pothole when I was driving to my training area. So I'm calling that like a casualty of war. This is all part of the training. Um, the car. Oh boy. I really wish that I lived in a place where I didn't have to have a vehicle. That's my ultimate desire. Dallas does not have the infrastructure. We have a pitiful public transportation system. If you want to go across town in a bus, good luck. It'll take you 6 hours. Good luck to you. You're better off walking, because you'll get there faster, guaranteed, than if you try to take the public transportation system. No matter how far you're trying to go, better on foot. And I just wish but the more concentrated you get, like the better the public transportation is in a city. I feel like there is a massive trade-off. Like New York City, you can get around anywhere, but you have to take the public
Like
transport.
like
And
London,
yeah, and you have to
like
be
you
on that
just get
screeching tube the whole time. I think that there's
easier
something,
to use. They've made it where you don't want to drive because
yeah.
it's just easier to get on
And
the
it's like
underground.
anywhere you are in London, I remember this, like anywhere we happen to find ourselves, you could just turn and look over your shoulder and there's a tube station. Oh, and you want to get across town? Well, there's a train leaving in 5 minutes. Perfect. We'll just pop down. We'll be right. I mean, it was the timing, the ease was absolutely incredible. And you really don't need a car in certain places, London being one of them, New York City being like, you really can't own a car in New York City unless you're very, very, very wealthy because the parking spots are a lot like more than a home, like to rent a parking spot or to, anyway. But the trade-off with that is you have to live in one of those highly concentrated cities. And I think with the concentration comes the noise. We've talked about this many times. The noise factor of these major cities, I think, I always want to say silent killer, but that's not correct. It's like invisible ninja. It's you can't see sound. You can't see it. It's invisible. But that doesn't mean it's not working on us, through us, working us over in a way that is profound, in a way that is truly profound on our body system. And I think a lot of these noises, and we've talked about this before, they don't have to be that clanky. Clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. That's a famous old like ragtime show tune from, you guys are way too young for clang, clang, clang goes the trolley, but I recommend looking it up. It's a fun song. But the trolley does not need to go clang, clang, clang. It doesn't. It doesn't. Frictionless travel. Friction is often what causes these abhorrent noises, and the metal on metal, and truly the clang, clang, clang of the rails and the system interacting. I think it's noisy by design. Nothing needs to be noisy. Whenever I'm in New York City and I hear those godforsaken trains going overhead or anywhere, and it's just the loudest, most thunderous noise you've ever heard. I was walking over the Brooklyn Bridge on the footpath, and there's the train that's buzzing by you, and I mean, truly, when it comes by, it is the loudest noise that you can imagine. The decibel count, I would love to like see what the decibel count is on just general daily activity in New York City, because I think it's assaulting. There is an assault on the body system that is happening, an audio assault that is happening. And I feel it, and I can feel it very acutely. I'm very sensitive to sound. And I mean, I'll never forget being on the London Tube for the first time when I first came to London. And I had to cover my ears from the screeching sound. And I was looking around. Nobody else seemed to notice it. I was like, am I going crazy that this sound, I mean, it's like, it sounded like a damn velociraptor was trapped outside the train. And I was like, what is this? And nobody else noticed. Everyone was just in their own world, happy as can be. And I thought at that moment, I was like, just because their bodies have adjusted to tune out to,
Yeah, they can't even hear it, can they?
Can't even hear it. They can't even hear it, but that doesn't mean it's not affecting their systems. Just because they have mentally rerouted this as white noise and it's no longer being registered mentally does not mean it's not being registered physically in the body. The sound, the audio waves are still coming in. There's still an onslaught. We're up against those waves, those tidal waves of sound crashing to our shores. They're still affecting us whether or not you're cognizant of the sound. And that's what I realized. I was like, oh my God, all these people, they're being assaulted all day, every day, and they don't even know. But yeah, anyway, I'm a bad driver. Where did we start this conversation? I am. Oh, Rambo. Okay, quick change. This is not a delicate transition, but when we had our last convo, it was on the group Zoom,
Yeah.
and we had some breaking news on the Zoom, literally while we were recording.
The school shooting, was it?
And it wasn't just while we were recording. It was while I was talking about how I was like, I don't think that the system can do school shootings anymore. And we were talking about this kind of rash of cruel hoax reports that had come out because the school year had just started, and there was like 5 or 6 reports all around the country of these like cruel hoaxes where like there was a mass shooting hoax at a school over here, and then a mass shooting hoax at a school over here, like a threat, they were reporting it as like a cruel hoax where someone is threatening the school, but it's all a hoax. And I remember thinking like, well, at least they're telling us they're hoaxes now. I mean, I know that's not what the news report is actually saying. They're saying that there was this threat and and it was, whatever. But like all of them, I believe, are hoaxes. So the fact that the news reports are now saying school shootings hoax, the fact that these are being used in the same headline, I felt was very illuminating. And I was like declaring all they can do are these hoax reports now. They can't actually do school shootings anymore. And as I was saying that, we had breaking news, and it was this Annunciation Catholic school with probably the fakest school shooting situation.
So far in it, yeah,
it's bad. It's bad. We didn't even. What's cool? We didn't even talk about it on the.
Because we didn't know, did we? So
no, we didn't have any details, and I didn't care to look it up at that time. Yeah,
the time it was the tiny. I had a quick look at the time.
Yeah, and I think it was Auntie Coviet who was like breaking news. Breaking news we've got, which is actually very, very cool. I am honored to get my breaking news from within this community, and I feel like we are a more accurate news.
So is it still going? Are they still talking about it, or is it?
It's kind of gone. It's kind of gone on to the next. It has kind of. It's nowhere on the front page of any. I'm looking on the New York Times right now. It's nowhere to be found on the front page. It's completely fizzled. It's completely gone into the annals of memory. And I do have a. If you're curious about some of the details and some of the sightings and findings, and the symbols and all those little tricks that we always can put our finger on when we start looking into these cases, I do have like a highlight on my Insta page called Pew Pew, which is a pun with the Catholic school pun with the pews and the kids hiding in the pews as the pew pew sounds were going. But this one's full of it. This one's full of all the things that we clock. The disconnect between the bystanders and the parents, the complete emotionless tone. There was this one
I
kid
seen
who
one of,
was
yes, that's what I was going to say. He's like
smacking his
describing
gum.
how
He's like,
his
yeah, he's describing like
friend
how his
saved him or
friend
whatever.
saved him, like jumping over him, and how his friend got shot while he was laying on top of him, and literally zero emotion. He could have been telling me about what he had for lunch at school today. Like that was the
But
tone
are
of the
these
delivery.
real? That's what I always think.
Yeah.
Are they real or are they Christ actors? And if they are Christ actors, where do they apply and how did he gain the trust to hold that secret forever? Do you know?
This is a really
That's what
great
makes you think they're
question.
not real. They can't be.
Well, I think, okay, so I'm gonna do a rare position in the corner of they are real. This is a rare
Yeah.
thing for HV. Never before heard, never before seen. HV says things are real. Get ready, folks. This is a first. Okay, if they are real children, how do we get these accounts? If they're real, and I would just say, the kids thought it was real. It's a drill, and the kids are just told that this time the drill was real.
Then you get him laughing like and stuff like he was pretty much laughing while he
Yeah.
was saying it, do you know?
And
Like he looked like he knew he was lying.
yeah.
Or
Or
over
it's like,
maybe he doesn't, he's over exaggerating his
I
part in
think,
it or something.
okay, so if the kids are told it is real, and the kids are, and there's probably a very panic induced, it's probably very chaotic, a lot of screaming, a lot of running, probably a lot of popping sounds, those every kid described fireworks sounds, which is just, we have we have been hitting on this for so long. The popping sounds with all these school shootings, it's always described as like a sound of fireworks or a car backing up or like this pop sound, because the sound of gunshots can be recreated with 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 complete accuracy by just putting off a
Fireworks.
fireworks, because it's the same material. It's gunpowder. The same material that makes guns go pew pew makes fireworks go boom boom. It's the same material, gunpowder. And so a firework will sound like a gun. Anyway, that's just one thing. When I saw fireworks, I was like, we've covered this so many times.
Yeah.
Also, fire works like the work of fire. I think of Plato's cave and the shadows on the wall. So now when I start hearing fireworks as part of these psyops, I'm starting to, it's ringing another bell. It's ringing a deeper latent bell that this is shadow play. When I hear the word fireworks now, I think of someone holding that flame in the back of the cave, and the little
And
puppets are
everybody can
dancing
just
along
hear
the
it. Yeah.
wall, and that's and it's just through our senses, the impressions that we receive through our senses, the impressions, not the reality, but the impressions received through our senses guide what our experience of this whole realm. And so yeah, there's just, so all these are documented on the stories. This one just felt on my Insta stories under pew pew, if you
Super
want to go.
fake.
Super fake. It ring, it's this is and even like the principal and the mayor, and they like the language that they were using. Oh, and then there was this like surgeon from the hospital who said like the language he used made it seem like they got a notification before the event saying that there would be an event today or something, and that the page came across his desk. He's like, we got a page at 8:46 a.m. Okay, that's an interesting time. What else happened at 8:46
Yeah,
a.m.?
the Twin
The
Towers,
Twin
wasn't it?
Towers, the first plane hitting the Twin Towers.
George
Also
Floyd.
8:46, George Floyd. And I'm like, it wasn't 8:44, wasn't 8:45, wasn't 8:47,
Then the
8:46,
7/7 London bombings was 8:49.
which is just a
That's
little
like
mirror
a
right there.
yeah.
So there is something, I know that incorrectly, I swung and a miss. I incorrectly stated on our group Zoom that the system couldn't serve up these shootings anymore. Well, asked and answered. Turns out they can, but this is the best they can do.
Yeah, where
This.
it's everyone's starting to
Everyone's going,
see, yeah, that it
what's
doesn't add
happening
up.
here? Something doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel quite right. And now it's completely gone. Just whoosh.
Talk
I
about like notifications on this Sunday
Oh,
coming
you guys are
up.
gonna get one.
Yeah, are you getting one as well where
No,
they
I just
do
saw the
the
reports that you guys are gonna get blasted.
yeah,
Tell me
that's
what's going
all I
on.
know. For all everybody through the mobile phone will basically get like we done it. I think they've done it maybe 2 years ago on it now. They've done the same thing where it's basically like your alarm going off on your phone
Mhm.
and it's an emergency thing on your phone, emergency notification, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening on Sunday. This
Now, okay,
Sunday here.
what day is Sunday?
But it's just the timing of it seems a bit.
Is it gonna happen at 8:46 a.m.?
Yeah, yeah. Let's have a look at the time. Actually, let's check. Let me just
Let's
check the time.
check.
Probably will.
Ah. And what is it? Is it what's the even purpose of this test? Just to freak everybody out?
I'm gonna emergency alert. So,
Today's September 3rd, so Sunday will be
danger to life, including severe weather events like storms or flooding. So it's going to be
Sunday.
7th of September at 3 p.m.
Okay. Danger to life. Oh, that's interesting because the sound is probably going to be like "Meh,
It says your
meh," and
phone
that
will
is
make
dangerous to life.
a
What's
loud
interesting?
siren-like noise,
And that's
even it
dangerous to life.
even if it's on silent. So it's basically like the war. It
Yeah.
sounds like the
Yeah.
war sirens.
Oh boy. And
But
my mom, I just can't get off this audio assault thing. Like, what is dangerous is going to be that horrific blaring sound that goes to every eardrum in the entire country. Every eardrum is about to get blasted by a dangerous sound, an assault on life. Like,
yeah.
it's all right
So,
there. It's all.
so for like weather and stuff, we all have different weather. So how could it be that everyone in the UK all of a sudden has the same one and it's a danger to life? It's only happened since COVID, hasn't it, really, these
Mass
sirens. But the
alerts.
following weekend, the next weekend, I don't know if you've seen Elon Musk tweeting about the UK a lot
He
recently.
has been, yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically like it's gone crazy here. I've mentioned it a few times over the last couple of recordings. So next weekend they're saying it's the biggest protest Europe has ever seen.
Mm.
Um,
Well, what are the odds that this alert would come out on the protest time? That's
Yeah, the
interesting.
week before, literally just
Mm-hmm.
6 days. So it's the following Saturday, the 13th is the day of
Interesting.
the protest. So it's run by the Tommy Robinson guy, the
Mm-hmm.
guy
We've
who
talked
plays
about him.
different guys, and he's been on in prison for the last year on solitary confinement, and nobody knows he was there, obviously, because he wasn't. But um, but
Mm-hmm.
he's put out a message saying everybody who's going to be attending. Do not attend covering your face. Your face needs to be clearly on show. We're not, and they've made it of a braver thing. We're not afraid to show our faces at this protest.
Mm-hmm.
And let's let's just throw it out there. Like, let's say now, like it is for other reasons. Like, why would they want your face, like some people who are going maybe would be covering their face to lose their jobs, but I just thought it was a bit strange how he's made a message saying, do not cover your face. It's basically making it out like it's brave to go if you're not covering your face. Why do you think they do that? And then Elon Musk is like pushing it up as well. But over the last few weeks around the whole, everywhere in the country, really, everybody's like groups or teams of people putting up England flags. I don't know where they're getting the supply from.
Yeah, you
On
mentioned that last
every
time.
light, it's worse
Yeah.
than when I last mentioned it. And
Oh, wow, it's spreading even.
so
The mind virus is spreading
it's
even
a
further.
mind virus. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
understand where they get it. Can only be from online where they're getting this information. Must go out and put flags up. But there's like people advertising, like, do you want to join our group? Going out at midnight, putting flags up all over the town and stuff like that. So where I am in my small part, luckily, like there's nothing there. There's not, but everywhere you go, it's just like full of flags. And I mean, driving down the street, it's just flags all over. Even spray paint, any white wall, you'll see a spray paint of the red cross in the middle of it. It's everywhere. I've never seen it so. Like it feels to me like it's proof of NPCs, really.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
something is triggered, a trigger word has gone off somewhere, an emergency alert has gone off somewhere and set them all off to
Woo.
go and put these flags up. And they're like going out up ladders, really high up ladders. So like Joe, so you can't, no
Take
one
them
can touch
down.
it or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the towns around here are just every single street. I've actually took some videos and photos of just how great, who's it's not the flags. But why now? Why put the flags up now? Just like in this time when it's like all like this tensions building. It's like something is. It's like a trigger word has been said to get, and it's only worked on certain people to go out
Yeah.
and it's groups of people going out. I'm talking like vans full of people with ladders everywhere, all up the whole. It's a full night shift they're putting in of putting these flags up and everywhere. I've never seen it before. Like why it's and they're going, "We love our country," and
I wonder
what?
if, like, at times of like when patriotism is the highest, I, yeah, what are they priming the brains for?
Is it
What is the brain?
for?
What is
I
this
mean,
extreme
what they
patriotism?
throw in some instigators into this biggest
Oh,
ever
there's definitely going to be some
protest.
instigation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they'll have like a an opposing protest that'll be there. So I told you
And
about
this is
these
all still about
protesters.
migration, immigration, and
Yeah,
migrants.
all
Okay.
of it. Yeah,
All of it. Yeah. Well,
and
that makes more sense of why the push on the patriotism, because it's making people,
even Elon's doing it
you
as
know,
well. Like even posted the England flag, didn't it? This himself.
oh my goodness. Elon stirring the pot,
That's what
stirring
basically
that
what he's doing,
pot.
stirring it. But it only takes someone like that to stir it for all these, like, I'm just going to call them NPCs because that's what they are, to
Yeah.
go out and buy truckloads of flags because that's what's happened. Whoever's selling England flags at the minute is making money. Like if you had any spare ones in your garage or like a boxes of them from the Euros or from the
Yeah.
World Cup,
You're
you've
golden,
sold them
baby.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all gone. But honestly, it's crazy to see, really. Like I can't get my head around it. Like what they think it's achieving, or it feels like a misdirection to something
Yeah.
else.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. What?
They're being used. They're being thrown off a cliff. It feels like these people are like being lemming. They're being lemmings, and they're just all going off the edge of the cliff, like for
Yeah.
whatever the agenda is in the long run.
That is an excellent analogy. Yeah. I think many people are blindly following, like they
The,
don't have any, like, I bet a lot of people that are going to be out there at that protest, they don't care one way or the other about anything, but they are just swept into
don't know why they're going.
groupthink. Yeah, they're literally in a lazy river of consciousness. I'm not sure if you guys have lazy rivers over in the UK, but it's
Yeah,
like
in like the
this,
water
yeah, and you
park
just kind of
stuff.
get in
Yeah.
and it goes one direction and it kind of is moving slowly, but once you're in it and it's very difficult to it's all, nearly impossible to go the opposite direction against the flow. It's also kind of difficult to navigate out of it once you're in the flow of the masses, and I feel like many people are just along for the ride. Like they're
Some
not,
feel
they're
it
not.
is to take away, say, the passport and give you this digital, because the Kia Starmer's like, oh, digital ID is going to come in because of they're making it, so they're like turning it on each other. So, yeah, all these migrants are coming over and we don't know who they are, so they're going to we're going to need digital IDs, but then if they bring enough people to this protest and it all goes mental and they're going to need to ID all them as well. So it's like playing each other off each other. Like, that's
And
why it's
also
better
getting
if
people really scared
just
about like
watch.
loss of privacy and blah blah blah
Yeah.
and facial
You say
recognition,
your
blah blah
digital
blah.
ID is gone when you got if you're on a mobile phone, it's already gone.
God,
You've already got
yeah.
it.
Anybody who's trying to be covert, it's a fool's errand, truly. Everything is known. Everything about you. Everything. E- Down to the thought, down to the intention, down to the um
Look at your phone now.
everything.
Think of
It's
something. It's
known.
coming up on there in a
Yeah.
bit. Like,
And, I don't mean to bring this up as like, ooh, Big Brother's watching. I think Big Brother, the whole concept of that is a red herring. It's like a look over here, not over there sort of thing. It's like a way to tell us that we are being observed, we are being watched, everything about us is known, but not telling us the true mechanism of it. I think that there is, and I don't even think it's happening on a level that is like the human experience level. I think that there's like another layer of maybe an observation deck on Earth of some sort, and everything that we do, everything that we are, everything that we think, act on, intend to do, everything that comes from us or is within us is registered somehow. Even our internal thoughts, I think that our thoughts become things, and those thoughts are first registered in this grand equation, because everything's a vibe, y'all. Everything's a vibe. And so like I think that our vibes are constantly being telegraphed out from us and being received and registered by the system. I don't think we're being judged. I don't think that we're being tracked. I don't think that it's a nefarious or evil systematic
it's kind of mirroring what you're
surveillance.
thinking back to you, really, on
Uh-huh.
through your mobile phone, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
whatever you're thinking, it's not doing it in a bad,
No.
like you say, it's not doing it in a bad way. It's just mirroring what you've just thought.
It's a blind
And
judge. A blind judge.
it's
Couldn't
kind of
care
like a
less.
tuning
Couldn't care
thing.
less about, I think about this all the time. It's whatever the universe, I do think, is some sort of, yeah, a blind judge is the best way to do it. It doesn't care one way or the other. Like, it doesn't care if you're all negative, or it doesn't care if you're all positive, but whatever you bring to it, it'll just give back to you,
Yeah.
Like if I'm just 100% negative all the time, and I'm just a righteous bitch, which Lord knows I've been there, I've been her. I've given that energy out, and I can tell you that that's the energy I received
And it
back.
comes
Not
back,
because,
yeah.
and the same thing with the positive. If I'm dealing in the positive, again, the blind judge is like, okay, I see this person deals in positive, so I'm gonna give back positive. Or this person deals in negative. That seems to be the frequency that they prefer. I'm gonna give them back what they're getting in, because this is what's going on. I'm just going to match them. No judgment. Absolutely zero judgment. Absolutely zero, like people think of God sitting up there and, critiquing our every move, tisk, 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 judging our every motion, our every whatever. I don't think it's like that, with like an accusatory or a like a scrutinizing eye. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like, okay, this is what you seem to enjoy surrounding yourself with. I'll just give you more of that. It's what we bring to it gets returned to us in kind. And yeah. And you know what? If I'm honest, I had some really negative feelings swirling inside my body when I got my tire popped.
I was
I
gonna
kind of
say, how did you feel?
I
What was
think,
you?
like, leading even up to it, I've had some kind of behind the scenes. I've had some kind of swirling, whirling things, an unsettling feeling on some things, and I think I was, that's what
And
I was
all of a sudden,
meditating
your
on.
tire just went. You say you
The
put it
universe
out,
is
it comes
like,
back. Yeah.
this girl's doing some negative stuff. I think that's what she wants. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
give her the pop tire. I do feel, as soon as it happened, I was
I
like,
think that's
I did
right. I
this to
think you're right.
myself. I did.
Whatever you
Yeah.
put out, it does come back to you. That is so
I
true.
did it.
Well, that's what you
I
want. But yeah, it's giving you what
did it.
you want or what it
What
thinks
it
you
thinks you want.
want.
what it thinks you
Not
want.
doing it in a bad way, but it can come across
No.
bad if you're putting out like
Right.
this now with all these angry guys, like they're not putting it up out of wheeler, they're putting it up in anger. Do you know, like
Mm-hmm.
something's gonna come back and it's gonna be like, oh, all these people, they want this, you know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Isn't that interesting? I do think that there is going to be some sort
That's
of,
why they're trying to build like
if I can manifest a
snowball these
popped
people.
tire in
Yeah.
my little life, and I'm telling you guys, like that was at that moment, it was the most perfect, clear reflection of how I was feeling on the inside. Actually, I kind of had this like agitated feeling of like I'm about to pop. Like me.
Yeah.
Kind of like this. You know how sometimes you
Everything's
feel like
stressing.
that?
Yeah,
And like
everyone
just like
gets it.
one little thing, and you're just gonna go off. That's
It
exactly
happened to
how
me,
I
didn't it, a
felt on
couple of
the
weeks ago
inside.
with my
Ooh.
tire,
And
and it was
your
the
tire
same.
popped.
It was the same tire, the passenger side tire as well.
Uh,
So,
uh,
and that was me having a bad day. Do you remember when I was talking about it? I was having a bad
yes.
day and things was getting worse, and then I hit a pothole,
Oh
but
my
it didn't go
God.
straight away, and I just drove off the pothole. Nothing. I knew it felt bad, and then all of a sudden, dum 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 dum,
Oh my
tire
God.
gone.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
what I told you just a
crazy.
couple of
Yes,
weeks
just a
ago?
few episodes ago, and the same thing has just happened to me. It was an inside job for you. It was an inside job for me.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
and
God,
it's one of the
Rambo.
things where it's nothing. I'm not negative about any. It's just like everything's starting to build up as a negative, and then all of a sudden something does happen that's negative
Something's
to me, and I'm
gotta
like,
give. Something's gotta give. Ready to
that's
pop.
what he wanted.
I know. It's what I put out there. Guys, we are so powerful. We have to be really, really careful. And this is kind of what we put out there. Maybe I'll save this for we're already coming up on an hour, but I'll try to do this quick. Since this weekend. Okay, so this weekend I saw a bunch of people from my past, like people I hadn't seen since college. Some people that came were people that I haven't interacted or seen since college, and so there was like a blast from the past element of that. And then I get home and like yesterday was the strangest day. I got a notification when I first returned back from the trip from an old colleague I hadn't seen in 11 years, and he got let go from this company that I had previously worked for, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to connect, and we ended up having a coffee, and it was just it was just like that blast from the past. We hadn't talked in 11 years, and we had a nice little catch up, and I'm able to like send him this random project to kind of help him while he looks for a full-time job. And anyway, it just felt very pleasant and whatever. And then right after that, I go somewhere, I go across town, and I ran into another person that I hadn't seen in 15 years, another colleague, but from an even earlier
Different.
company that I worked for. Hadn't seen him for 15 years. Just randomly comes across my consciousness right there. Had a nice little catch up with him. And then I get a text. Like this is all boom, 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 back to back. And then I get a text from someone who I went to kindergarten with in Jakarta. I haven't seen this person in decades. I haven't communicated with this person in years, years and years and years. And out of the blue, out of the clear blue sky, I get a text. He and his wife have moved to the DFW area. They are now in a town called Plano. It's about 30 minutes from me. Asking to connect. Can I come to dinner with him and his wife and we can all connect? And I'm like, what is happening? What? My past is becoming very present. So there was okay, all that to say, so that was weird. That was just weird, like all these blasts from the past. But I kind of think like maybe I'm meant to like be in these people's lives now because I do feel like a different person. Maybe it's not necessarily my past is coming to me. Maybe it's like me as a new person is able to
Go back to your
go back to
past.
the past in a way. And I remember when I was sitting across from my first meetup with a coffee chat with an old colleague, and as we're talking, he's rightfully scared. He's got 3 kids in college, and he just lost his job. Totally understandable. But the one advice that I kept giving him was, you've got to be delusionally positive. You've got to I know that the fears are going to creep in, the uncertainty is going to creep in, but you've got to do everything you can to try and stay positive and try to believe that good is coming. You've got to truly believe that. And I said delusionally, so I kept saying delusionally, like it's not going to make sense, but you need to have a positive mindset. Now, did I take that advice when I was popping tires left and right? No, because I had a negative mindset. But I think maybe in some way, like I was trying
Shows
to
that you
tell
was
myself
right though,
that.
and it's whatever you
Yeah, you
kind of
gotta
focusing on.
you've gotta broadcast that positivity from within, and then it's gonna come from without. I don't know, but I just kept feeling myself repeating and hearing myself repeating this kind of,
It's good advice. That's good
yeah.
advice.
But the timing was very interesting because I had this random project from a new client just fall into my lap about a week ago. And I remember thinking, this is wonderful. I'm glad that I got this new opportunity, but I don't really have the capacity to handle it right now. And it's actually a pretty straightforward project. It just needs a dedicated editor, but the editor I work with is already dedicated on some things. We're already kind of at mass capacity. And I remember thinking like, I want to say yes to this project, but I don't really have the bandwidth to do it myself. And I don't really have a plan B. Like my person I would usually send it to is completely overloaded at the moment. So how am I going to handle this? And then all of a sudden, the universe opens up. I have a coffee chat with this individual, and I say, you know what? I might have something for you. Because he's like, do you have any like excess, any projects I could take on? I'm looking for a full-time job elsewhere, but in the meantime, to get through this little, this stretch, do you have anything? And I said, I think I might. I haven't gotten the project yet. Let me follow up. But I pitched on it last week, and I was actually kind of stressing about how I'm going to handle this, and this might all work out. So I followed up with the client after no, I didn't even follow up. They just emailed me out of the blue and said, we're ready to go. Let's have an onboarding. And so I have an onboarding call with them today. And I told this contact, I was like, here's what the project is. Here's what I've budgeted. If you want it, it's yours. And so I just felt like the timing of that was pretty extraordinary because his skill set is exactly the skill set that I would need to complete this task. And I was kind of sweating. How am I going to complete this task? If I take it on, how am I going to get it done? And then the universe just answered,
Perfect.
this guy over here that you haven't seen in 11 years, and he's going to come. And there was a, and I really had to temper myself because, so the company that he just got let go from, they let me go in 2014. It was the best thing that ever happened to me because I ended up creating my own company from the ashes, from the rubble of that. I created my own company and haven't looked back. And that truly was like a very critical transition point. And from there, the rest is history. I'm doing what I'm doing now, and it's wonderful. But I kind of had PTSD from that company because it was very stressful. It was a very, very, very stressful job. The boss, a woman, is a massive bitch. Like she really is. I still have nightmares about her to this day. I have nightmares about my old boss. I'm always, just looking over my shoulder, and she really is a conniving bitch. And it's sometimes female bosses are really tough. Anyway, so I really had to, there was like a sense of almost joy because I knew he didn't even have to say anything, but I knew that she was a heinous bitch to him, and like had and I was like, I told myself going in, I was like, do not get into a catty bitch fest about this lady. Like, do not gossip. Do not share any of your personal whatevers. Like, this guy's experience is this guy's experience. If he wants to tell you about whatever, let him tell you, but do not add to the equation. Do not pile on with your own stuff. Yeah. Because honestly, I've wanted to be able to be like, she wronged me. Oh, like all that stuff. Yeah, that would have felt good. But like, I love where my life is now. Had I not been let go, I wouldn't be here right now. And I had to like sit on my freaking hands. I had to he was describing some things, and I was like, don't say it, don't add to that, but I just, I kind of gave him some, head nods and I know where you're coming from. And that was like, that
Yeah.
was the most I would give to that. But I was like, don't add anything negative to this. Don't sprinkle any negativity, and your own little stories don't matter in this moment. That water truly under the bridge, that was many years ago. Just be an audience for whatever he's going through and give advice as best you can. But like, I had to give myself all day that morning, driving there, I was like, just this, if you can remember to do one thing, just don't add any negativity. Don't bring your own anecdotes into this,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter. And, but yeah, because a good bitch fest feels good when you can like gang up on the.
Yeah, you're bringing something back on yourself somehow.
Yeah, it was. And so I all I did actually was like give compliments where compliments were due, because she actually, even though she's a bitch, she's very, very good at what she does. She's excellent in her field, truly, like probably the best in the country at what she does. And I just gave compliments, in a way. And not in a way that was like, oh, she's the best human being. But she's very good at her job. Like just complimenting in whatever way was truthful, but also not you can still say the truth. Like you can still, because I learned so much. I learned so much from being in that position. I learned so much from being under her tutelage. I learned a ton. And I wouldn't be where I am today. And so I do have and that's what I just tried to come back to, is like everything that it was tough, like being in that battlefield, but we learned a lot. It was trial by fire, all that stuff. And that can be good. But yeah. And guys, be careful about that too. Gossip is really, gossip is fun. Gossip can be very fun, but it's also very destructive. And if someone's coming negative, just do your best to not pile on. Do your best to neutralize the negativity. Just do your best. Just do your best to bring that back. Put good into the world and you're going to get good out. Good in, good out.
Good out.
Good in, good out.
Yeah. And before we go, for anyone, I've got a good movie recommendation. I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Upgrade, it was called, and it just felt a bit weird, but I love those movies, right? I've really enjoyed it, and I don't really enjoy any movie. It was like it has a different ending. It's like, but it's kind of what we talk about, how it ends. I'm not going to ruin it because I thought it was a good
And
one.
it's
It's an
2018.
unexpected ending, yeah.
Yeah. Upgrade.
And it's got very Elon Musky as well in it. It's like got a fake Elon Musk, like one of those kind of characters. It's
Ooh.
kind of like an Elon Musk kind of guy who's in it. But yeah,
Okay. I
I'm not
haven't
gonna
watched it
spoiler
yet.
it just for anyone who wants to watch it. It's like worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch.
And if you have watched it and you want to give some commentary on it, put
Yeah.
it in the watch party channel on the
Yeah, I'd
Discord.
like to know what you think.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like I did. It was more the ending. It's like one of those where I thought, though, when you think you can predict the ending, it's like yeah, and I was like, oh,
Ooh,
I
Rambo
didn't
got
see that one coming.
surprised.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one coming. All right, well, that's some homework for the group. I need to watch it. I've been kind
It's
of
a good, honestly, it's a
low
good
on
one.
content lately, so yeah.
I recommend it definitely.
All right, guys, and before you head out on those roads, before you get out on those streets, let's make sure we're driving around with positive
Thinking
mindsets.
positive.
Yeah.
No more flats.
No more flat tires, yeah. And it's just a good reminder of how powerful we are. I rendered that that experience for myself, because that's what I was putting out there. Alrighty, we live and we learn. That's the best we can do. And we grow. All right, talk to you later, Rambo.
Talk soon.